sure you're turning. And Carol, when you finish them, can you give them to Chris, please? Good. Should be up on. Welcome. Williamson Travis County Municipal Utility District Number 1. This notice is given that the directors of Williamson counties. Today is the date for a regular meeting open to the public on Wednesday, the 15th of January, 2:25, and the time is 6:47, and I'm sorry that we're starting late. At Lakeline Oaks, 1000 Old Mill, Cedar Park, 78613. An official meeting placed within the boundaries of the district. The board will consider and act upon the following matters, and we'll go into that in a minute. First, we've got residents that would like to speak. Linda Fabre. Oh, first we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Sorry, this is something new that we've started. So yes, let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Carol. Here it is. I'll move back a little bit so it's visible. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And 1 minute of silence, please. Thank you.
First person on the list is Linda Fabre, is a resident.
It's FOB, Beth. For 8 years, it's been FOB. It's going to stay FOB. Last month, Hanoi Villa denied having any involvement in advancing the Holiday Light project without board approval, claiming no role in what appears to be a clear instance of scope creep and decision-making outside the public meeting process. Given the significance of the issue, I submitted a public information request for all communications related to the project. Shockingly, not a single board member took responsibility for what amounts to a use of public funds without proper consent. No board member provided the email communication that initiated this controversy. However, the operator did. In a public meeting on November 20th, the operator credited Hanoi with instructing her to push the project forward, yet the records tell a different story. They reveal that it was Beth Jones who made the decision on November 11th, just 9 days before the board meeting. When Director Flores questioned the expanded scope and proposal selection, Beth Jones adamantly denied any involvement, both at that time and again in an email on January 6, 2025. In her email, she claimed her only input was stopping by the office, learning that Valente Hills didn't need lights with wreaths, and instructing staff to request a discount. Her claims conflict with the documented timeline and the operator's statements. This lack of transparency and accountabilities mirrors issues raised in October 2024 when Beth Jones was slated to face a censure motion I had drafted for her repeated misrepresentations. Hanoi voted to pass over that agenda item, prioritizing a censure against me instead, a move that appeared motivated by personal animosity rather than governance. It appears that Hanoi's actions follow a concerning pattern. His repeated efforts in October and again in December to use public funds to pursue litigation against me seem to stem from personal grievances rather than the district's interests. To better understand the context, I reviewed the court records in Williamson and Travis counties and found a troubling history of what I consider litigious behavior involving 6 lawsuits he's filed against his own nonprofit organization and its board members, and a couple of lawsuits filed against him. While pursuing legal action may align with his personal ambitions, the push to use public funds for such purposes raises serious concerns about potential abuse of official capacity.
Tina Flores, resident.
It breaks my heart and tests my patience to stand here and address the relentless defamation and untruths being spread about my husband. Yet here we are, compelled to confront the reality of what leadership in this district has become. The November 20th meeting was a turning point, with Beth Jones showing her true colors. Her actions speak louder than words, walking out of meetings in November and December with boxes of pizza paid for by Infomark, the very contractor seeking to avoid accountability for the catastrophic failure of the Hatch lift station. From my perspective, this reeks of impropriety. I call it Pizzagate. Beth has been vocal, too vocal, about a letter from Infomark denying any culpability for the $1 million disaster. Let's be clear, no one in their right mind would expect Infomark to openly admit fault in writing. Yet here she is championing their innocence as if her word alone overrides the evidence and the expertise of the district's licensed professional engineer. The engineer, after reviewing all records provided by Infomark, determined that the failure was the direct result of their negligence. This isn't baseless speculation, it's a professional conclusion backed by documentation. This board owes it to the residents to prioritize the facts and the credibility of licensed experts over Beth Jones's ever-changing narratives. And let's talk about those narratives. The pattern of misleading statements, whether about my husband, contractor's performance, or her own actions, has become impossible to ignore. These aren't innocent missteps. They seem deliberate, calculated, and frankly, pathological. Now, Beth and Mackenzie are allowing Hanoi to take the fall for the Holiday Lights Project, an initiative that screams self-interest. Here's the truth. There was no motion, no vote, and no proper authorization to spend $10,000 on Christmas lights. Back in September, Mackenzie suggested that amount be added to the budget, but it was never revisited. Yet somehow, Beth's Christmas lights dreams came to life. This isn't leadership. It's a betrayal of the public trust. It's personal for me, not just because of the lies told about my husband, but because this community deserves better. How many minutes?
That was 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
It should be 3.
Should be 3 minutes. That's what it says on the agenda.
Well, I just had time for 3 minutes and just.
I timed it.
What do you have, Cole? I had 3 minutes on mine.
I didn't time it, but I think
I don't-
you should, if you have another minute, or if you have anything else to say,
I do.
you should say it.
Thank you.
One more minute, am I giving her? Or?
Yeah, that was 2 minutes.
Okay, go.
We deserve accountability, honesty, and leaders who prioritize residents over their own agendas. To Beth and her enablers, I say this. The truth has a way of coming out, and when it does, it will be as bright and unmistakable as the very lights you hung without consent.
I would like my additional minute as well.
Yeah, you should have one more minute.
Chris, you okay with that extra minute?
That's fine.
I have 3 in mine. Actually, I have 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes at
Ready?
this point.
Yeah.
These actions not only distract from the board's responsibilities, but could also have long-lasting consequences for our district. Public funds should serve the community, not private, personal agendas. I urge this board to prioritize transparency, accountability, and the responsible use of taxpayer dollars. These principles should guide every decision you make, free from personal vendettas, self-interest projects, or an abuse of power. We all have a duty to stand against any abuse of authority, because when power is misused, it erodes trust and undermines the very foundation of public service. I hope you will take this responsibility seriously. Visit mudeducation.org to see all the documents referenced in this public comment. Thank you.
Mike Gonzalez,
Hi,
resident.
just down the street. I recently signed up for a tennis membership and had a little key incident that brought me back a couple of times. In doing so, Stephanie noticed that my business is similar, and we talked about the resurfacing and that you guys were seeking bids for the job. I went and took a look at all of the courts in question, and the Anderson Mill ones really need some attention quickly, because not only is it a play hazard, it's a safety hazard. They're no longer cracks, they're gouges. The other thing I would suggest is, I know somebody else in the business who has already put in a bid, and when I put my bid together, they were way below. And their bid is good, I think, till March 1st, and it should be something we consider, because once March 1st comes, it's going to go up. And they've offered a really good deal because they have a couple of their employees that live in the neighborhood. It's my 2 cents worth.
Thank you. Gabe Mauer? Mauer, are you a resident?
Yeah, I am, on
Okay.
Spider Road.
Okay.
I had a question about deed restrictions on Anderson Mill West, Section 4. It mentions, on the covenant's second section, subsection R, it mentions, other than minor emergency repair for vehicles. Is there a definition for minor emergency repair?
Historically, the situation had not arisen very often, but considering how expensive repairs are when residents wanted to make repairs to their own vehicle, so long it wasn't something that was taking a significant amount of time, we typically allowed the resident just to keep us up to date about how long it's going to take, and then we let them do it.
Okay, so I can do some work on my car in a day?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not changing a flat. If you got to do your brakes,
Yeah,
or a
something like
starter or something like that, yes, and it could be overnight even.
Okay.
The whole trick is to set yourself up where you let Infomark know what you're doing, how long it's going to be, because if it's going to be a long thing, they're going to tell you up front, no. We'll try to help you find a mechanic, but
Sure.
just letting us know is usually all it takes.
How does Infomark enforce that?
They enforce it because they're taking the information.
All right, fair enough. And then my second question is, with this being a municipal utility district, do you guys do anything with like an agreement with service providers for internet? Or is this just strictly water and anything else?
No, we don't do internet
Yeah,
with each
it's
house.
funny you mentioned that because if I may, I was trying to distinguish between the things that the MUD is responsible for,
Sure.
the things that they're not responsible for,
Yeah.
and then the gray areas. And that is my example of a gray area. If we could get a better deal on something and it was something everybody approved, that's something we would think about.
Yeah, as a younger person, do I have to leave?
No, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, if I mean, as a younger resident, the internet is a valid and valuable utility as someone
Yeah,
who
I
works
agree.
from home, right? And Spectrum is not the greatest. So I don't know what that would involve, but I would be interested in that because getting AT&T's fiber or Google's fiber out here would be just a benefit for the entire community.
You're not the first person that's told us that.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you all.
Yep, thank you.
Jana Ramirez, resident.
Okay, Happy New Year. So I just wanted to thank the residents for donating to the park event on the evening of December 8th. Neighbors donated snacks and hot chocolate, and we had music, and the kids played in the park. And the lights were turned on after all the kids came together and had a countdown. It was really fun.
For doing it.
Yeah, Director Rocco showed up. He was Santa Claus, and everybody was excited to see him. Took some pictures. Hopefully more neighbors can come to future events in the spring that, any neighbors can go to. We invited everybody from Valenta Hills HOA, Lake White Oaks HOA. I invited all the board directors, myself, on email. And it was a great turnout for such a short amount of time to get people to know that it was going on. I just want to mention there's trash on Hatch Road. It's mowed over often. I don't know if that's in the landscaping contract. I know Sunscape and Eco didn't do that in the past, or maybe there was just less trash in the olden days. The first episode of Extreme Home Makeover this season showed the family on Grist and the neighbors surprising the family at their new home. Check it out. It shows our park, and it looks pretty cool. Has the drones above everybody walking to their house on Grist. There's been several about crime. I wanted to have the deputy constable in here, but there's been several individuals that are attempting to open car doors once again. They were seen on Astor Pass and Old Mill last night. I believe that it was reported to Williamson County Sheriff's Office. There has also been reports by neighbors in the Limber District as well. I was just wondering if there's an update on the sign at 620 and El Solito, but I guess not much can happen until after the 620 construction, but it's a sad sight, that's for sure. Anyway, thanks a lot. Happy birthday.
Okay. Thank you. First on the agenda, consent agenda approval for October 16th, November 14th, November 20th, and the 18th of December. Let's do the first one first. October 16th.
I don't know if you have enough people here.
I don't think we do. Well, you haven't been able to get on your computer yet.
But I wasn't here for the 16th, and I don't think Carol was
So we're
either.
going to have to wait on that one.
Right.
We only have two of us. November 14th and November 20th.
I was here for the 20th.
But you haven't been able to read it because you haven't had a computer.
Right.
I have read them. I would vote for the November 14th and the November 20th.
You would?
Yes.
Okay. David?
I'm good for the 14th. Went over it, and it was a short meeting, so the video was really quick, and everything
Yes.
was correct, so I'm good with the 14th. 20th, I did put a note on the minutes online in our Google Drive. The motion was to authorize payment for bills and invoices. My reasoning for abstaining was incorrect, and I corrected it on the Google Drive. Just verbatim what the meeting, I went back and made sure it was correct. So as long as that's changed, I'm good with the 20th with changes.
So October 16th poll, we're going to have to wait on
Sure.
if we don't have enough people. We can vote on November 14th and November 20th, and I have not been able to get to December 18th, but I have done November 14th and November 20th. So can we do those two? Are we all in favor on those two?
I make a motion that we approve 14th and 20th.
Perfect. Aye. All in favor?
Use a second.
So who's going to second? I'll second it, it's fine.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Okay, so Cole, we did not pass the 16th of October, we did not pass the 18th of
Correct.
December.
Are you okay with
16th.
voting on the 18th of December? Did you vote?
Only two votes, though.
Have you read it?
Have you read it, Chris?
I still can't get into my computer.
Yeah.
There actually are some minutes corrections on the 18th, right, Cole? There was a resident that reached out to me, Cole. I don't know if he reached out to anybody else and any directors, but
And Cole, you'll send that out to us
Which part?
for the 18th on the corrections so we can review it?
Sure, I haven't made any corrections,
Yeah,
but if
okay.
you're talking about the email, then yeah, I can send that out to you all.
That'd be great.
so there is kind of a question about, so it was the motion to reconstitute the board. And when we were, I guess if you could type it up, since we're not gonna vote on it, and this way we can have, we don't waste too much time, we can
Yeah,
just, this way you can read on it, and then we can discuss it
Sure.
next.
That's what I was just asking. Okay. Number 4, account reports, accounting reports. You guys ready?
Good evening.
Evening.
I'm Kimberly Smith with Artesian Financial Services, and I will be giving you the bookkeeping report for this meeting. If you all will please turn to page 2 of the bookkeeper's report, there you will see the summary of funds. There's 5 bank accounts. We have New First, with $142,894.84 balance. I have central operating account, which we have $15,000 in it. Cadence, a balance of $15,000. The Cadence reservation account, $10,926.81. And then the manager's account, $42,215, with a total of $226,021.80. In your tax pool account, the general fund, interest rate is 4.4769%. The balance there, $4,807,817.53. The 5 accounts and the tax pool, which are all the general fund, totals $5,033,839.33. And then the tax pool tax account, also interest rate is 4.4769%, and the balance in it is $10,000. We can go to page 3. The first bank account, this is the cash flow for New First Checking. The beginning balance as of from December 19th through January 15th, beginning balance was $188,495.56. We have receipts, tennis fees, $250. Interest from the ICS account is $513.91. A stop payment was placed on one of the refund checks, which was for $453.20. And then the tax pool to cover disbursements, a wire will go through for $320,000, totaling $321,217.11. The disbursements in green. Last month I requested holding checks. So each of these holding checks were used for funds. So we have check number 1468, Charter Communications, $150.77. Check number 1469, Cedar Park, Fire Protection Expense, $103,571.24. Hughes Network, that's check number 1470, $79.98. Check number 1471, Oracle, $84. Dallas Electrical Co-op, check number 1472, $4,449.71. Check number 1473 for Ranger Guard, totaling $1,170 even. You'll see check number 1475 is a reissue of the stop payment above. So we stopped payment on check number 1330 and then reissued check number 1475 for $453.20 to the customer. As you will see, there are no deposit refunds for this month. We did not receive any, so therefore that's why there are none showing for this month. Okay, so the next checks that are written for approval are check number 1476, Artesian Financial Services, $3,087.57. Check 1477, Badger Meter, $542.90. Check 1478, Brett Properties, $1,000 $1,625. 1479 Cedar Park Fire Department, $55,845.44. 1480 Coates Rose, $8,717.96. Check number 1481 Cube Smart, $328. Check number 1483 Land Care, $15,673.12. 1484 Omniset, $1,212. 1485 Touchstone District Services, $345. And then check number 1486 for Waste Management, $45,269.54. Those checks are there for approval. And then the last 6 written in green are, again, holding checks for the upcoming month to pay those expenses before their due date. So total disbursements, $366,817.78, which will leave a balance of $142,894.89. We go to page 4. The Central Bank operating account, the beginning balance was $20,000. The receipts total of $72,491.69. That's accounts receivables and interest. Disbursements total $77,491.69. 2 are bank fees. The last is the transfer of the AR into the text pool account. That will leave a balance of $15,000. Go to page 5. This is the cash flow for Cadence checking. Beginning balance, $10,000. AR, accounts receivable, $177,541.12. Disbursements for the month were a total of $172,541.12. And this will leave a balance of $15,000 in the account. If we go, let's go to page 6. Cadence Bank, the reservation account. There were a total of rentals. The total was $213.32. The beginning balance was $12,561.49. We received the rental fees, $213.32. We have disbursements. They totaled $1,848. There was a facility refund of $1,740. That leaves a balance of $10,926.81. Page 7. This is the Cadence manager's account. There were no transactions for this account, so the beginning balance, $42,215. Ending balance is the same, $42,215. We go to page 8 and 9. You will see the actual versus budget for December 2024. I will give you a chance to review that, and then we can move on to page 10. After 9, on page 10, every quarter we do a quarterly investment report. So for the last quarter of 2024, the tax pool general account started, beginning balance, $300,536.55. Transactions between October, November, and December leaves a balance of $4,210,131.09. The tax account, beginning balance, October 1st, $1,508,005.48. Transactions for the 3 months, leaving an ending balance of $687,494.98. Totaling $4,897,626.07. That's the end of the bookkeeping report. If there are any questions,
I have a couple of questions. This is Director Flores. Thank you for your report. So I wanted to discuss Infomark's check. So in the folder that we received, I don't know if anybody noticed that August base fee was in there. And I was asking myself, why August? Why is it so far? Why is it late? So I started doing some digging and I started going month by month and trying to figure out. And, you know, I went through every single month for a whole year to find where there was something was off. So I went through everything, and in our folder, it seems that there's a lot of data that's incorrect. I talked to Kim today about it, and she was able to make sense of it, and we are all caught up. But the way it's laid out in our folder, back in September, we paid for a September invoice, but back in August, we paid for a September invoice. It shows that we paid for a September invoice. So in August, they submitted a September invoice, and that's what it looks like. So I kept going down the line, and there's a lot of documents in there that don't line up with the payments. So we really should go back and clean it up. So if anybody goes back in there, it's not very confusing, and it all lines up, and it balances. Kim did go through, sent me an email that everything does balance. On her end, every invoice matches the check. So I was content with the work that she did to go back and make sure that everything's there. But I think the information committee needs to kind of go through that to make it all sense. I know I'm a little off topic of the bills, but it was, when we were discussing Infomark, I started looking deeper into that bill, and I noticed that there was a weird, and I don't know if Infomark can answer this, but there's 8 invoices or 8 work orders that are for peppergrass. They're all on peppergrass, and they were all issued on 8/1, and it just was kind of odd that everything landed at one time at peppergrass. It was like the whole street, it was the angle stop repeatedly on that street was being changed. And I went back to the meeting to see if anything major happened, and we didn't get a report on that month that anything major happened. So I was just wondering, Infomark, do you know what happened in that month that all these houses on Peppergrass had to have an angle stop changed? Was there anything that stood out?
Without you providing me work order numbers to look at the actual work order numbers, I'm not going to be able to give you an answer.
Okay, so I don't want to take up a whole lot of time because we try to get our meetings done. I will email you all the work orders that I had a question about. But it's just, these are the little things that I look for when I look at these bills. It's just like these anomalies. You laugh, Chris, but these are the little things that we need answers to watch them.
I wait and get the audit report and see what it says, David. The little things I'm not really concerned with.
I'm very concerned with all of them.
Oh, good. I'm glad you got time for
But
that.
if I may ask before we close this out, David
You
has
too,
brought
Linda.
up, David has brought up a question. And Mackenzie, if he sends you those numbers, those work orders, then you can quickly
Correct.
put it together and let us know what they are, whether it amounts to a lot or not.
Yeah, and I will BCC with all of you, so
Okay.
y'all are in the loop. I think that's, fair to let everybody know.
At
what's going on.
least the county needs to have that.
Yeah, so it's, it's just, I know we're pressed for time, we had a late start, there is a lot of questions I have for bills and invoices, but we're just gonna go ahead and press on.
Okay. But Mackenzie can take care of that, and then we can look at it after. So,
Thank you. Okay, next. Does Kim have anything else?
Kim, did you have anything?
I am finished with the report.
Unclaimed funds, you've got that?
Okay, let me give you information. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question, Kim. What was the amount this month? I know we have the attorney's bill was $841. I want to know $871 for this month. Out of those $871, how much money was used towards public information request? I don't have that information with me. I don't know if Cole can help answer that question, but I'm curious about the attorney's bill. Can you give us an insight into that, Cole?
Yeah, 1 second, please.
I'm going in as well too.
For the January invoice from our office related to, public information request was $871.
How much of that was just PIRs though? Because I think there's some stuff in there that's not for PIRs.
No, that's all PIR.
Okay.
We have one number for strictly PIR.
Okay. Yeah, and it is my understanding that Linda Fabre continues in her venture to irreparably harm this district, continues to waste our money in public records request without any limitation. I think the behavior continues as she almost actually cost the district over $300,000 in her venture, again, to irreparably harm this district. And so just want to make sure, for the record, that she continues with her behavior.
Kim, can you let us know what we paid out this month on extra copies and requests?
Just for this past month?
Yes.
871.
But
That's what Cole.
I will look it up.
What was it, 871 what?
So for the, Kim, it's invoice 205-79279. So for the month of December, we received public information requests from 3 individuals for a total of 4.5 hours, $871. That's the month of December.
Thank you.
And then on the bookkeeper side, was 1 hour.
Thank you.
Kim, do we have a separate line for open records requests? Because when I was going through it, I didn't see that there was a separate line for open records requests. It was just under legal counsel.
We can amend the budget and put a separate line item if you want.
Well, if Hanoi's very concerned with open records, I think Hanoi, how would you feel to have a separate line so this way you keep track of it a lot easier?
Well, we can arrange to have it show up whichever way you guys request. So if that's what we need to do, then it can be done.
Well, this way it's a lot easier and we can see it in our bookkeeper's report, and this way there's not as many questions on how much it is. It's just right there in our financial report, and I think it'll be a lot more transparent. It's really, I guess, the budget committee, can take it under advice and see what they want to do. Bring it to the board and see if we can vote on it.
Yeah,
And again, I think moving forward, as we will later look into the agenda, I would like Cole to keep very strict records of how much money this district is using in open records request, as we have evidence and record that Ms. Fabre has used well over $300,000 of taxpayers in her venture to irreparably harm this district. And so moving forward, I would like to have good accounting on open records requests.
So you all had a policy before our office took over where you have a spreadsheet that tracks all the open records requests. It tracks I don't remember if it's the requester or not, but anytime we get a request from our office, we respond to the request, and then we fill out that spreadsheet that I believe is on your Google Drive, or it's available for all the directors to see. But that is updated. And Tammy updates that weekly with requests that we receive or as needed. So you should be able to see on that district spreadsheet, and that goes back to 2 attorneys, I believe. So it's quite possibly the entire history of all the public information requests that this district's received. But we do keep track of that, as well as our billing system. So we have a separate billing number for public information requests. So that's our way of keeping track of it as well.
Quick question, and so who's the current custodian of record of all those past records of records request?
I'm sorry, what was your question?
Who's the custodian of
Who
records
is
for
the
all of those
custodian of
prior
records of that
requests?
data?
It should be within the files that you got from
Yeah.
Zach and Flickinger.
Yeah, so we're the custodian of the record now.
Can we make sure that either Infomark or another party of our contractors can also have copies of those records? Because I think it's important that we keep those.
We can put them on Google.
You mean the ones that are requested that we respond to?
No, I'm just asking. I just want to make sure that we are protecting those records moving forward. And I ask our Madam President to make note of that.
So you're asking Cole to put them in another file somewhere? So we have to authorize.
I'm not asking.
So we have to
I'm not
authorize.
asking Cole to.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm not asking Cole to do anything. My hope is that we keep good record and that we are safeguarding the data pertaining to open records request.
Yeah. My understanding is you all are. With that spreadsheet, there's a link that takes you to the response. So you all, as a district, every board member, you should have access to every request, every response, and all the information. It's all linked there with the time spent, the money, which parties contributed, all that type of stuff.
Okay, all right.
Good.
Okay, so
Say on that, accounting?
would the unclaimed property,
No.
did you guys want to discuss that, or?
Is there anything to discuss?
I don't have anything to discuss on that right now.
Okay.
So I
just
actually
wanted
I would like to apologize to Artesian. I know I've pressed every month on, how long it's been taking to get this public, what are we talking about here? The
Sorry.
unclaimed
Unclaimed
funds,
property.
sorry, yeah, my brain's not in multiple places, but I've been pressing about it, and today I actually realized that they are 2 years behind and they're catching up on 2022, is that correct, Kim?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the request to the state for those funds lagged 2 years behind.
Yes, and y'all received the email about the addresses that they couldn't find?
Yeah.
So I guess that's why it took so long, and I was under the impression that it was only for the previous year. So I would like to apologize for that. I didn't really fully understand that you were so far behind, and I see now that that's why it was taking you so long, because you had to backtrack and try to find all those addresses. So I just wanted to kind of apologize for, not fully understanding, but now I understand, and I know that we do it, we're always a year behind in our unclaimed funds. And Kim explained that to me, and I'm very thankful for that. Thank you, Kim.
Okay, you're welcome. Now, I do want to just clarify that Artesian, we're not behind, but the actual process is 2 years lagging. So, for instance, 2024, July, when the report was going in, it reports through February of 2022. And so that is how the submissions are requested on the Texas Unclaimed Property site. So I just want to clarify, it's not a year behind, but it's by 2 years. And thank you very much for your apology and for understanding, Director Flores.
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any other questions for me?
I do not. Sarah?
No, does that cover all of those items underneath number 4? David, is there anything there that you?
We did not discuss, because we did not see a need for amending the budget, so that was not discussed.
Okay. The only reason I ask it is David, you was the one who asked for that the last time. And so I just.
Well, Mackenzie asked to be put on because just in case that the budget committee met and decided that there was something to change, that we did have a placeholder for it. But I do believe that we need to amend the budget because if we have MOC's amount of money that we were going to pay them and Infomark's more money, it just makes sense that you have the numbers correct. We just
Okay, so let me clarify. We did meet, the budget committee met, and we did go through all of these invoices. The idea of amending the budget, that's common, that goes on all the time. It has to be done in businesses and agencies and so forth. And so I know when I was looking back at it, you had something to do with MS4 report or something, is what you were targeting, what you questioned about at that time. But anyway, what I'm coming to is if we really need to take time for a budget meeting, we'll do that for the purpose of let's look at what we might need to make some adjustments that we not be doing some amendments for. And if we can share that through email or whatever, but then Chris and I can sit down and look at it.
Sure, I'll send it to you. My concern was MOC, not MS4. It was
Well, that's where it was.
The operator budget, the operator amount.
Well, that's where it was when I was
Okay.
reading. I was reading back in the minutes and so forth. That's where it came up.
Okay.
So, okay, that's fine.
Just because it's about $120,000
Okay.
difference, and we have to get that money from somewhere.
Okay.
So we need to take from some area and put it in that. So.
All right. So that's something that we will look forward to working on. Okay, thank you, David.
Right, that's it, Ken.
Okay, engineer report.
All right. It's good to be here this month.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
It's
Yeah.
been, an hour and a half and haven't heard a big scream, so we'll take it. Okay, the first item on our report is the status of the sewer cleaning and televising project. I know that David and Grant presented kind of our status to you all last month, but so I wanted to help clarify. We were authorized in November to commence the design. We've done the design. We have our contract documents 90-ish% ready. There's some final edits that need to be made. I have attached a copy of that contract document. It's in the Google Drive. Full disclosure, it's 179 pages. You don't really need to read it. You're welcome to flip through it. You're welcome to read it in detail. I'd be happy to answer any questions. But that is the document that the contractors will be perusing to format the bid for doing the work. If you flip to the very last page, you can see a map of the district where we delineate all the different sewer lines in your neighborhood that we're going to want cleaned and televised. It's mostly important that that contract is reviewed by Cole so that he can ensure that we have all the proper bonds and insurance requirements that you will need to execute a contract with the contract. So I'll be getting a copy of that over to Cole as well. But what I would ask, because you have a May deadline to have this work completed so that I can notify TCEQ that you've done this every 5 years, I would ask that you authorize Westwood to commence the public advertising process once Cole has given me the green light that he's okay with the contracts, so that I can publicly advertise. You're required to publicly advertise twice, then have a bid date. So I would like to get that done as soon as possible so that I can start that 3-week process of the public bid. And then receive contractor bids, bring those to you. Hopefully they're within budget. Well, it'll be publicly bid, so anybody who wants to bid on the job that's qualified can.
But you said you will do it twice?
Yes, ma'am. So I'll advertise it in the local paper twice on, let's just say, back-to-back weeks, so that anybody who picks up the paper or peruses online websites will be notified of the job.
So let's do that right now while we're on it. Is that okay?
Sure.
Let me ask for a motion.
I make a motion that we, what's the language, that we go forward with the posting, authorize the posting after Cole looks at the contract documents for bid.
Yes, sir.
Is that good enough? Can you dress that up to how, so I'll make sure it's exactly what he needs? That's my motion.
We're authorizing our
Engineer.
We're authorizing Westwood to make the public advertising
For the bid.
for the bid for it is inclusive sewer line cleaning
And
Televising.
and televising. Okay.
Project.
Okay, so that's what we're making a motion about.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I second that.
Is the being done by May, that date, is that going to be an integral part of the contract?
It will be.
Okay.
Okay, so we got a second. All in favor? Unanimous?
Thank you.
I'm sorry, who seconded that?
I do.
Thank you.
Carol?
Sorry, just to interrupt really quick, we didn't make a motion to approve the bills and invoices.
Correct.
So we need to do that.
We did.
Heard on down.
Anybody want to make a motion on the bills and invoice? Or do you want me to do that?
I'll make a motion to approve the expenditures for the bills and invoice. What's the total amount? Are these two, is it these two numbers right here?
I think we wrote it down like before.
Yeah.
Hold on, I just shut it down.
It should be 5 something.
It was, hold on. Tax. Got it?
Right here? Or is it this?
Kim, can you give us that total again? Just make sure we're reading the right one.
366, 817, 78.
Okay.
Here you go.
I'm here, I couldn't hear
That's
what was
okay.
being said.
We got it. It's okay. They were just
Thank
confirming
you.
the amount to approve.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that.
I make a motion that we approve the expenditure of $366,817.78 for the payment of this month's operating expenses.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
All in favor
Discussion?
or discussion? Nope. All in favor? 3? Okay. Passes.
Do you vote no or abstain? Deb?
I voted no.
You got that, Cole?
Yes.
I'll get there one day. I'll vote yes one day.
I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. I can't wait.
Okay, go ahead. We're on B, 5B.
Yes, so the status of your lead and copper rule items. One thing we did this past month, TCQ had a webinar, so we attended that to kind of see what their update was. It's no different than kind of what we reported last month. So we have until November 1st, 2027 to formulate a plan for identifying any unknown lines and a variety of other things. Yeah, but then you'll have 10 years after that to actually replace them. So the short of it is right now we have some time to kind of let the EPA and TCEQ formulate further guidance to kind of iron that out. We did get the FAQ document over to Infomark. They posted it to your website. So Westwood will be responding to the resident inquiries that we've received, notifying them to go check that out for any questions. Item C, other matters. We have the El Solito sidewalk. I know last month there was a proposal presented for injecting material under the sidewalk to raise it up. And part of the feedback was, let's get more bids, and what would it cost to do the demo and rebuild the sidewalk the traditional way. So Grant went back and he reached out to like 5 different contractors and received little to no response from anyone except for one. So I have attached that proposal for you as well. So we have the original proposal for injecting and raising the sidewalk, which is like $2,800. And you have the proposal from Lucky's Concrete, which is like $13,900 to demo and rebuild brand new sidewalk in that area.
So the original bid was how much?
Let me read you the exact numbers.
I'm looking.
Sorry, 1 second. The original proposal for injecting either a cement fill or some type of poly, I can find the exact term, but that's $28.30.67. And the proposal from Lucky's Concrete to clear, regrade, form, pour new concrete, that is $13,750. Now, in a perfect world, I'd like to have more bids, full disclosure.
Yeah, that time of the year.
So you're not under the gun. We can continue to ask and try to get better prices.
I would try to get some more.
Okay. We can do that.
But I had asked some questions the last time, and not that I was dissatisfied, I was just seeking some clarity on some understanding of, like the one that is the one we had, the 2,800 bid.
Yes, ma'am.
And injection, and that part of the contract saying that they would make the decision of what type of material to use. And I respect that. I'm certainly not one to say what I think it ought to be.
Yeah.
But I was, honestly, I was concerned, and maybe I'm just not familiar with the field, but I was concerned with all of the detail in that contract of what would or would not happen. And those were my questions. Are we going to get something like that from this other company, or?
So on the first contract, the injection guy, full disclosure, I'm not a concrete injection guru, expert, or have a ton of experience in it. I do know that it's a method that does work in various cases.
We've had it done in the past.
Correct, and that's why we reached out to that company.
Right.
So we knew that they had worked in the district previously.
Okay.
But I will say, when I read their terms and conditions, there was a litany of
Yes.
CYA phrases that they had in there that basically protect them for anything that kind of could go awry. And so when I prepared your report in December, that's why I kind of wrote the clause in there of like, Cole needs to read this to make sure that y'all are protected, because it does have a bunch of, if it cracks, it's not our fault. If we use no fill, it's not our fault. Like all kinds of things that, again, I don't review concrete injection proposals on a regular basis to know if that's a standard or if that was just.
I don't remember that from the previous times that we had it. This to me sounds a lot like, hey, we got it from them before, let's just see what we can run by them this time without taking any responsibility.
Correct.
Well, I mean, I certainly I want to treat a contractor well. I don't ever want to not do that. But there were things in there like, but if we have to remove something, for example, there's a tree issue in this right here. He wrote in there that they charge $500 an hour for any work that they have to do removing something.
Right.
I thought, wow, I didn't know they made that. I mean, maybe that's standard, but there's no upfront as to whether that's going to be something we will have to do. And so that's going to tack on to the cost. And there were other things along the way in there where they, what you said, and certainly a contractor has the right to do that, to protect themselves. But it was an awfully long list of however buts. And so that's why I was asking the questions.
No, that's, I agree with you.
Valid?
I agree with you. So I think, Chris would like to try to reach out and find more bids. In that process, I'm totally for reaching back out to that original guy and saying, make sure you, he did go out there, I believe. Grant met him out there, but what is the number that removes some of these clauses such that we pay one price and that's it?
Yeah, on trees, you should be able to look at the trees that are there and give us a little bit more firm what's going to happen. I mean, even somebody that's not an engineer should be able to do that.
So I can ask that question to see if he can provide a number that doesn't come with so many unknown ties.
The problem is he's the only bid, he knows it, and
Well, I don't know, but anyway, thank you, I appreciate you. I do appreciate you getting at least one more.
Yes, ma'am.
And
So
looking at it.
we'll circle back next month.
is it too small a job, Jake?
Well, I think there's a variety of things. Yes, I think it's too small. Yes, I think the holidays played a factor.
Yeah.
And everybody's just
Right.
stinking
Okay.
busy.
So would it be, so what I was thinking was, like you said, maybe a small job. We have a budget, an annual budget for sidewalk repair. Why don't we have Jacob gather all, because that's what they used to do in the past. Gray used to go around, these are all the spots that have to be done. This is one job, these are all the spots, and this way entices more contractors to say, you know what, this is a job worth doing, well, I can knock them all out in one shot, and then we can go ahead and get all these, because there are several spots. Just an idea for you. I'm not a fan of doing
Well,
concrete.
That to me was
sidewalk.
part of a risk assessment. If I'm understanding correctly, this is across the street from the school.
Yes.
It gets a lot of foot traffic. This is the kind of thing we should be concerned with. Whereas other things that maybe don't get the same amount, there are other things that we can do. I mean, it's not beyond painting a yellow stripe where there's an elevation in excess of, 20% or something, just to let people know that's better than nothing. And that doesn't cost much to go. So,
Agreed. Yeah, that was not something that we were tasked with,
Right,
doing
understand.
a sidewalk assessment. I do agree with David that in the past, I think I've done 6 phases maybe of sidewalk maintenance projects where they grouped a handful of locations, which
Sure
made it
does.
an appetizing enough job for somebody.
Can you pull that up, Mackenzie?
yeah, and it brings down the cost.
What, any of it from when they did more than one sidewalk repair? Do you still have that? Do you have
I
that from
have-
Herb?
I have, yes,
Yeah, it does bring down the cost per job
That's
when they
okay.
don't have to set up.
I can tell you what they were, I remember.
Yeah, I've got various of those files,
And you can kind of tell where they are too. You can
which
see-
is how we reached out to various contractors, because we're like, you've already worked in the district, so.
You can see where
Right.
they are.
I mean, at the end of the day,
They're different colors.
it is sidewalk work, right? I mean, these guys aren't building the Taj Mahal, but.
Right.
Man, you should see how many sidewalk repairs they do in Austin, and
And how many they don't do.
they're doing a lot.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Would you like me to come back next month with an idea of what it would take
Please.
for me to do a district-wide sidewalk assessment?
Please.
Okay. Will do.
Are we all agreeing? to
Yes, yes.
that? Do we need to take a vote on that, Cole?
If we're authorizing them to spend some money.
Well, you're just authorizing me to tell you how much it's going to cost.
Do we still need one?
If you're not expending any money, then no. I mean, I don't,
No.
Okay,
I don't.
okay.
This one.
it's just providing.
D,
Item B, we still haven't heard back from any contractors interested in knocking out one block on a CMU wall. Well, I think last month you all kind of were like, not too worried about that for pepper grass and the drainage port. D.
Dog.
Oh, sorry,
Committee.
committee. We didn't have a meeting. We hopped on the call. We realized that Chris hadn't been properly invited with an advance notice. We said, shouldn't have a meeting without Chris. We got off the call and we tried to reschedule, but it just didn't happen. So we need to have a.
I'm ready.
Okay. We'll send out another email to try to get some dates and times that work for everybody.
Okay.
Try to get that on the books.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
General manager.
Alrighty. If you go to page 9 of our report. You'll have your executive summary. Streetlights for the month. The survey was conducted on the 13th of December. All lights were reported as working correctly at that point in time. And the poll over at Hunters Creek and Hunters Creek Cove has still not come in yet, but we're keeping track of that. Water accountability was 91% for the month of December. We were at 96 in the month prior, so not a huge fluctuation. I'm not too concerned there. We're still in the 90s, calling that good. Delinquent letters is 136 mailed, 114 tags were hung, 16 disconnects were made. We had no items for approval this month. We just had some things we wanted to kind of make y'all aware of for the sewer cleanouts in the district. We had a recent issue with the sewer backup at a residence, and upon arrival, the district side sewer stack was not visible. Over time, they get grown up around. Sometimes people put in gardens around them, things of that nature. So they did dig it out to go find it. This issue ended up being on the resident side. It wasn't on the district side, but we did go ahead and expose the stack. But it kind of brought up the question of double checking where we might have others that need to be uncovered. So the techs have been driving the district to put together a list of addresses where we're going to need to do this at. We'll probably need a team to come out and just dig out where they should be and uncover those. It happens with time in districts that grow. It's not super uncommon for this to happen. For Lakeline X bathroom, we have had a couple of repairs back in the toilets over here. I believe a flapper and a tank leveler had recently had to be replaced in the women's bathroom. So that's been concluded at this time. No issues with it at this point in time. And then for the hydrants, we had some teams out checking those sewer cleanouts, and at that point in time, they had also decided to check some of the hydrants in the area and realized some still don't have some isolation valves. So they're going to look at some of the hydrants also to determine where we still need valves. You'll recall back in, I believe it was 2021 when we performed a hydrant survey. At that time, we had gone around and painted them. We had done the minimal maintenance on them when we had done that survey, but we never came back and did any of the valves. I think we had planned to budget for future budgets, and back then actually Michael Luck would put this budget viewer for like 5 or 4 years to come, and it was included on that, but it just got dropped off with budgets that have been approved over the years. So it is something we need to come back at and take a look at and make sure we have isolation valves on all of them. So we'll be bringing a quote back for that, but that is really all we had this month.
Thank you.
Reese, we had a question with the PEC bill about, did you ever figure out what that was?
It's on the 909 Woodridge.
Okay, what is it?
It's a very large electric bill.
Okay.
But I think it's for one of the lift stations that so no, I have not been able to.
Okay.
I do know that we did recently have to do a clean after the holidays. They tend to get pretty full. The lift stations will get a lot of rags and debris in them.
Now, this was a PEC bill.
Well, she's saying she thinks it's from a lift station.
But it goes to a house. If the address is a house.
But it could be at the location of
the nearest location, but that service is going to be providing to the lift
Would we
station.
have that big a electric bill?
We shouldn't, but if something is consistently running or if there's an issue, then we might look into it.
Okay.
Well, do that. Look at if it is the lift station. And just clarification, because when you pull the address up, you see this big, tall brick house. It's not the lift station.
They do that with almost all of the addresses on the PEC bills. They'll pick the nearest house address as the meter location.
Okay.
So the addresses are really what you would consider the meter location to be, but that doesn't mean that that's what it's servicing.
Right.
Okay. I mean, I'm understanding what you're saying, but I'm thinking, do people live in that house? And
They probably do. We'll look into it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Google Maps, Google Earth was through the district last week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also with the work packet.
So they updated everything.
So
We were walking the dogs.
Okay, I don't know if I need to make a motion on this or not, but I would like to move all of 8 and all of 9 up and move number 7 down below number 9 for now. Just seeing how it's almost 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Or done at 8:30. Can we make a motion on that, or
If
do
necessary.
we need to make a motion?
No, we
on that,
don't.
or
You
can we
can do
just
it. You can do it.
Okay, so number 8, new business, discuss 65 and up water rates and possible credit to customers.
No action item on the general manager's report.
No, I didn't ask for any action items, and they didn't have any to present. We'll look into that PEC bill for 909 Woodridge and see what's going on there.
Who added this one? Discuss 65 water rates and possible credit to customers?
That was from last month when we had that resident come in and was asking if he could be refunded for all of the years that he should have been under the seniors rate and hasn't been. So y'all had put an agenda item on there for discussion this month to talk about that.
Okay, David, you want to go first?
Like Chris Rocco said, you have to sign up when you turn 65 to win it. I would hate to open up that box of allowing 3 years worth, maybe. Even though it probably wouldn't be much, right? It would be.
We'd have to go, well, so the issue.
What's the difference between?
The discount is.
It's not that simple. It's your bills accrue fees for the amount that they are. So it would have to be a really difficult process of going back and retroing
Anyway, so yeah.
different line items on the bill.
I don't agree. Is it active now that he asked, that he came in?
Yes, because
Okay.
he'd already come in before he gave his
Yeah, I
speech
just
last
feel
month.
that
And
it's a can of worms I wouldn't open.
Do you have anything to say?
Ditto.
Okay. Only one asks is how I feel. Carol?
Yeah, well, only thing I say is find a way to advertise, if you will, and that comes back, I guess, to information, but somehow to put something out there in a broader way for people to know.
It's on the website.
I understand that, and I'm new to working on information committee, and in the past, I've been reading a lot, but still I'm reading more. And there's lots of stuff there, good stuff, but they're cross things. And they're sometimes not easy to find, whatever. I don't see that on our website. Maybe I'm missing it, okay? But I think we need a bigger sign, if you will, to say to the person who is now 65, hey, you can get a little bit of a discount if you come in or let us know, and you tell whatever way. And communicate that to them in a better way. It's on the bill, I think.
it is.
I think it's on the bill itself, but it's small print, and most people don't read all the details of their bills, so.
I can say this, though. Now that it's been announced in these board meetings, I have been getting quite a bit more
Good.
people contact us. So, just FYI.
Good. Anything else?
If we could just reach out to the gentleman and say that, I guess, the board has.
Who do you want to sign to do that?
Reese will let him know.
Okay.
Thank you, Reese.
You want to do a motion to that effect?
Yeah, we should.
I make a motion that we send through Reese's.
We contact.
To notify the gentleman of the board decision.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Okay, B. 8B, adopt resolution providing for Public Information Act policy.
That's my agenda item.
Go for it, Hanoi.
Thank you, Madam President. Yes, so this is so I put this on the agenda. I've submitted a first draft to our attorney for review. I've also placed that first draft on his folder, but I did notice he drafted an amended version of it. But anyways, I'll have him explain the legal components of it to the board.
Yeah, Hanoi, I can jump in and do it, and one reason I can discuss it is because there were two resolutions, both, they're, I guess, similar in nature, but they are different. Also, right now, you're not, although you're, listening into the meeting, you're not technically present because you're not on the video screen, and no one else in the room can see you, so you can't vote.
Yeah, I'm not voting, but I do need to explain that this is my agenda item.
Right.
So let me speak first, and then I'll let you talk as to the reason why I'm submitting this agenda item.
Okay.
I have submitted this agenda item, right? So we've talked, we are concerned about the amount of money that resident Linda Fobb is costing the district every month.
Who is we?
We all know that there's a history, a financial history that we can't deny, that she has cost the district over $300,000 in her open record request.
Taxpayer.
She has also mentioned in various occasions that she intentionally wants to destroy the district. And my concern is that she is using the unlimited, wild, with no reason, open records request right to hurt the district financially and to feed a website that she has come up with that is full of misinformation. And so it is my hope that we can somewhat limit the damage that she continues to cause this district financially. And this is one of the many ways. And so it is my hope that the board of directors tonight can use the rules that have been put in place to limit individuals like Linda Fobb that has caused damage to other government entities, right? And so it is my hope that we can put a resolution in place to limit her harm any further. So if you can explain the right, and so we've talked about that, so can you explain to us what rights do we have to make sure that we limit that? Now, if she wants to keep asking for this massive amount of open records request, our hope is it can be on her dime, right? That she can pay for it after the limit set by law. So that's why I've submitted this resolution. So I would like your explanation as an attorney, and if we can, if we can move forward to adopt a resolution tonight that would somewhat protect the district from Linda's continual actions.
Do you want me to jump in?
You can now jump in. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so the resolution that you presented, or that's on the Google Drive, it's essentially it mimics the government code with what is allowed or allowable by law already. So what that means is it's essentially Hanoi, what you're getting at, I guess, with your with the resolution and wanting to adopt it. It's something that our office already abides by because it is a code. And so what that is, if a requester, by law, requesters are allowed to get information from public entities. So by law, there's nothing that my office can do to just stop that. And whether that's one requester asking for 100 items or 100 requesters asking for, a single item, we still have to respond to that no matter what. So if a requester, essentially, a requester is I'm going to use kind of like kid-friendly words here. A requester has an allowance of 15 hours per month. So that's, and I'm pretty sure it's 15 hours per month. That's kind of the number that a requester is allowed.
That's not the only limitation I read in the codes. There's two. It's either, I believe there's a certain amount of hours during a fiscal year or 15 hours per month. So there's either or.
It's either 15 hours or 35 hours for the fiscal year.
Correct, I was getting there. And so with the 15 hours a month, a requester is allowed that amount of time. So if there's a request that comes in that is going to take our office, your operator, your engineer, whomever it might be, over 15 hours of work to put that stuff together, we're going to do what we need to do up to that 15 hours, and then we'll estimate how much time is left for that project, and we would send an invoice essentially to the requester stating, we've done this, it's going to take X amount more hours. Do you wish to proceed? If so, please send a check to the district book or whatever it might be. And yes, you're right. It's either 15 hours in a month or 36 hours during a 12-month period. So again, we track all of these items because one, we have our own individual billing number for public information requests, and everybody, all the directors can see our invoices. You know, in our invoices, we say, you know, PIR from this person and whatever the response is. In addition, we track all the information requests that our office receives, and we put them in that spreadsheet that you all in the district created years ago. So we do track all of this information. And so, yeah, so the resolution that Hanoi has put in front of you all today essentially just puts the code on paper as a resolution that essentially the board is acknowledging that this is what we're doing.
Question?
Sure.
May I ask a question? I hope you can hear him. My understanding of what is in place, what is the law, what is the rule, is that it is 36 hours in a 12-month period, but that can be broken down to 15 hours per month.
35 is what it is, truthfully.
Well, right. But what I'm getting at, if a person uses up 15 hours in this month, then they only have left 15 or 16 hours. Is that correct in my thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they need to decide how that's what they want to do. But if the project that they have asked for exceeds that 36 hours or 15 months in a specific, then you're going to stop at that point and notify that person that if they want it finished, then they're going to have to pay for that?
Correct.
Okay.
Themselves, yes.
Okay. But that is in place. It's just a matter of us putting it, acknowledging it.
We don't have it in place.
Well, it's in place because of the law.
It's in place because of the law.
Yeah, but we are not following that.
Well, okay, but that's what I'm asking. Does it?
Cole follows it by law, absolutely.
And we're not charging them right now.
Well, we haven't
exceed.
had any requester who's met. Well, one, this is a new year, so January, but we haven't, even last year, I don't believe we had any requesters who met, definitely not 15 hours per month, because frankly, I would have quit. But I don't think we had any requester who did over 36 hours in a single year.
So in prior,
But we do keep track of that stuff.
in prior years, we were always asked for our time spent putting it together before it made it to legal, if it was something that we had. So I don't think we've done that either. We haven't been asked that. So
Well, I was going to ask, when we talk about hours, you're talking about yours, bookkeeping, and information all
Whatever
together?
else is pertaining to the request.
Yeah, we fill out legal on the spreadsheet. If there's bookkeeping or operating, then y'all would have. We're not going to know what their time spent.
Of course, but I'm just saying, is that 36 hours, 35
yeah,
hours?
36 hours for employee or personnel time. It's not 36 for just law firm.
Okay, that's what I want to make sure.
Everybody needs to communicate with each other on how much time they're spending together. Because it's tax dollars that are being spent.
I'm sorry?
I don't read that. I read the code and I don't read, I'm sorry, I might have misheard you, but you're saying 36 hour per employer?
No. All together, all the employers.
Well,
Legal, bookkeeping, and management.
Well, it's not about those different ones. It's whoever that request pertains to, that person's time for pulling it.
Yeah.
Whether that's mine, Jacob's, the bookkeepers, whomever, it would be that person, including the district, the board members. It's y'all's time and Cole's will go lumped together per the request.
But I mean, you could possibly spend some time on something that you pass on to bookkeeping.
Correct. It just depends on who all has the information that has to be provided for the request.
Right.
So if they made a broad request for multiple different people's emails or different proposals, and let's say that touched your bookkeeper, your operator, and 2 board members, it would accumulate all of those plus whatever time Cole takes to compile, redact, and send.
So that's what you're asking, Hanoi, correct? Hanoi?
Can you ask that question again?
I want to make sure that you understood it's not for one, it's everybody that's billed time on that request, legal, management, bookkeeping.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, I want to clarify. Cole, and if you can help us clarify this, it's either or. So we can either adopt a resolution to observe the 36-hour per fiscal year, or the 15-hour per month?
I thought it was
That's
both.
if you can clarify that. And then number two, if you can clarify that, at least with you, we've never operated under that rule in our district. We have always paid you for any open records requests that have been made.
One, I'll read the exact language. A yearly time limit established under subsection A may not be less than 36 hours for a requester during the 12-month period that corresponds to the fiscal year of the governmental body. Period. A monthly time limit established under the same subsection may not be less than 15 hours. It's both. 15 hours for a month period.
So the resolution would be both,
Yes.
Yeah, so it's 15 hours a month.
15 hours a month,
36
or
hours a year.
36.
So when they go over 36 hours, what happens?
They pay.
We send written, well, now with this policy, I mean, I'll tell you right now, we've never gone over 15 hours a month or 36 hours in a year on a single requester, at least since I've been on the board, or representing the district. But, Hanoi, your question about, what was your second question? I'm sorry.
I think you answered both, Cole.
Okay.
When you were could you clarify for me, would you? I understand if the requesters will touch you, engineer, contractors, whatever, et cetera. But now, our manager, there is a base, what's the term? There's a base that they covered when they're pulling stuff. Is that a part of their base?
Correct. We don't bill the district for it,
So you would
but
not include that?
it would still include our time.
Okay.
Cole, I have another question. Have you been asking for anyone else time in the process of open records requests? So when Ms. Bob comes to you and asks for an open records request, have you asked board of director members, everybody that's, well, not board of directors, but have you asked bookkeeper, have you asked Infomark, have you asked everybody that's right? Because my recent experience is everybody's been asked for records. And so my question to you, have you personally been asking for anyone else's time involved in this process? And have you logged those times?
Me personally, no, because Tammy Nelson in our office handles them. Has Tammy, I can't speak for Tammy, but I know that your bookkeeper has a separate line item for time spent on public information requests, or at least it was a subject matter that came up a few months ago.
But my question to you, because you're stating that no one has actually reached a 15-hour a month limit, but have you logged the time of the time that it takes you and everybody involved in producing that information?
No, because the district has a spreadsheet that it established years ago in which all the consultants are to put their time onto it. So, no, I'm
and
not.
Who manages that form? Are you managing that form?
It's a form that everybody has access to.
Okay, so moving forward, can you make sure that everybody, as a person in charge, right? Because the rule talks about a person in charge of this process. Can we make an itemized list of every time spent across the board, right?
Yeah, we can.
I know our accountant has been asked for a lot of information. I know McKenzie has been asked for a lot of information. Everybody gets asked for information. You get asked for information. And so under this new rule, if we're going to be observing it, my hope is that we can keep track of the time spent, right?
Yeah, if you're asking.
So that way when we reach the limit, then we can charge the requester accordingly.
If you're asking for our office to be responsible for asking other consultants for the time spent, sure, we can do that.
It's not super difficult. So just what we were used to when Flickinger was here is when they would ask for the request, they would just say, please track your time on this. And when responding, report then the amount of time spent. That goes for all board members who for their requests and any consultants for their requests. And then that way, that person just got the time back. And then Bill's office used to be the one that ran it. And none of us would ever touch the spreadsheet. So I think that might be where we're.
Okay. All right, yeah, we'll gather all that information from the other consultants.
Okay, so we have the tools to make it work. Okay, do we need to vote on something?
If you want to vote on that resolution, then.
Okay.
Yes.
Put that together.
How is the resolution going to read?
Well, let's see.
You do it?
I'll make a motion that we adopt the resolution providing for all, I'm trying to read here, for for the PIRs, the request that the system, according to law and rule, become a resolution that is carried forward within our district. That wasn't your frowning, so help me out here.
We need to make sure that that includes everybody. I mean,
Well, yeah, it does. I mean,
It does. Okay,
your
it does.
motion is just to adopt this resolution.
Adopt the resolution, yeah. And it is to use the tools that we have at hand within our MUD to adopt, when we adopt this resolution, it will provide for tracking of the costs related to public information requests. That's my motion.
I'll second it.
So are we adopting the one that is in the drive under attorney's report or under new business?
It should be under new business. I don't think the one under attorney's report is.
That's just the one that I think Hanoi had sent you. He dropped it in there so that y'all could discuss it. So that's the old version if there were any changes made.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't think it changes.
So one thing on that, we have to change Hanoi's name as the president because it would be Beth's name on there as the president.
I'm looking at one that says Beth Jones.
I have Hanoi on here.
Are you in new business?
Under new business. MUD number 1, Public Information Act Policy 11524.
Yeah, I see Beth.
Madam President,
Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll change that. I see that.
what?
He's calling you.
He's calling me?
No, he's
He's
asking.
asking you a question.
Hanoi, yeah, you did say Madam
Oh, go
President.
ahead, Hanoi, sorry.
yes. So I want to know if maybe during this time or during the time of committee, if we can provide a committee to do the oversight and make sure our attorneys held accountable on the recording of these times when the records requests are made.
Hanoi, if I could interject
Whether
here.
that's part of this agenda or
Hanoi,
part of this.
what you're asking for is that the internal controls to ensure that the resolution is carried out as designed have to be designed and oversight provided.
That is correct.
Okay. Yeah, we can have a committee do that.
So we have a committee to oversight on the attorney, but not on any other contractor.
No, it's on all contractors.
Okay, sure it is.
That's what directors do, David.
You say so.
So we have a motion, we need a second and a vote on that.
Chris.
I second
Okay,
it.
second it.
Chris seconded.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
No.
Yeah, I do. I think this is, once again, personal to Hanoi, ousting a citizen, former board director. Everything is Linda, when there are multiple people that ask for information requests. Instead of saying the public, it's Linda.
I have been elected to.
Excuse me, sir, I'm speaking. Thank you for not interrupting. Thank you. And
Do whatever is in my power to prevent
I
person
appreciate
from our
you.
district.
David, we're gonna ask you to stop attacking, okay? You can talk, but you do need to not attack while you're speaking.
How am I attacking?
Go, finish.
This is something personal.
Oh, okay, you're done. Go ahead, Chris, you have something to say?
No.
What I will say to the public is that the reason why Hanoi has even brought this up and brought it up to our attention is that, and the reason why Linda's name is being used is that she's been very picky on accounting and making sure that our pennies are not being spent, and we pay an awful lot on this subject. This subject is has cost this district a lot of money, and we're trying hard to bring down the cost.
It only costs money to withhold information, not to give it.
You can give her whatever you need. She doesn't have to ask for it, you can give it to her. I'm sure that you can give it to her. Right? You know what it is, she knows where it is, she knows what it is already. She's got the answer.
I'm gonna ask
It's
you
a
not to
game.
attack. Thank you, Madam President.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, I just think we have a motion, first, a second, and I think we've had discussion in good ways.
Call for the
And I think it's a
Call for
good
the vote.
thing to bring forward. And yes, some names have been said, but it is intended for all who may wish to call for these records. And I think it's good to have this in place. So hopefully we can vote to pass it.
Great, let's take a vote. All in favor?
Nay.
Three yeses, one no. Okay, C, adopt resolution adopting policy regarding public comments at meetings of board of directors. Who put this on here?
So this is one that's been on your agenda for a while now. So I haven't seen this in district records, so that's why it's up there. When a district or board puts a time limit on an agenda, typically kind of the view is that the district has to have a policy in place to put that time limit on the agenda. You all might have one, and I don't know, tell me if they do, if they don't. But so because you guys have the time limit on your agenda and no policy has been found that was adopted in the past, this is a policy regarding public comment at regular meetings for directors. And essentially what it states is that public comments will be limited to 3 minutes, a total maximum of 30 minutes for the comment period. No speaker can accumulate speaking time from another person. Blah, blah, blah. Obviously, it has the language on there about if there's a member of the public who needs to use a translator, then they're allowed double the time. It follows the code on that. So this is kind of just the policy that you guys as a district have been enforcing. It's just written down, and now you have it on paper that you're enforcing a 3-minute time limit for agendas. And we talked about the sign-in sheet. It's not super urgent, but if you all want to, we've had this in front of you all for a couple of months now, so that if you want to do it, you can do it.
Go ahead.
I make a motion that we adopt the, what do you call that?
It is a resolution adopting policy regarding public comment meetings.
Board of directors.
I make a motion that we adopt that policy as stated by Cole.
It doesn't change anything that's been taking place.
It just documents it.
It just puts it on, yeah, exactly. and pastes
Okay.
it up.
So that's my motion.
Can I have a second?
Oh, I second.
All in favor?
Discussion?
No. Discussion?
Of course, you always have to have discussion.
Okay, yeah.
David?
Yeah. Let me set my timer, so this way I'm not gypped on my time.
Well,
You can talk.
that's okay.
Oh, I can't talk as long as I want?
No,
That usually
David,
shuts
no,
me down.
David.
Who seconded that?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, there's a couple things in there that was concerning to me was the board of directors reserves the right to limit speakers if the board of directors' judgment an issue has been sufficiently discussed and additional speakers are repetitive. Who is going to be the one to decide that? I want to be that guy. Let me be the one to decide that. Or is it going to be you, Beth? Or is it going to be you, Chris? Or you, Carol? Everybody's opinion is going to be different on what is enough.
Well, that's true, that's true.
So that is my hesitation with that, is that, you know, if somebody's in a bad mood that day and says, you know what, I'm tired of what you're saying, you're not speaking. You know, if somebody says, you're criticizing somebody, that's enough, you're done speaking. So, you know, and me, I could be more lenient and be like, have at it, express yourself, freedom of speech, go ahead. So, you know, that is my concern, is who's going to be the arbiter and who's going to be the one to say, that's enough.
I think it said, if I may,
Sure.
I think it said the board. So that's something that's, whomever calls attention to it, be it Beth as president, which I think would be good, but somebody else could call it as well. Cole, part of this, I like it, but Cole, let me ask you, I'm for people having the right to speak. Sometimes some of the things that are said, they hurt because they're not true, but I accept them. But I do have a problem with when people become hostile in what they're saying and demonstrate aggressive, beyond assertive, but becomes aggressive in language and tone and verbiage and demonstration of signs, etc. And so I want people to express themselves, I do, but we are people with ethics, okay? Ethics. A good board member has, whether there's law and rule, there's a behavior of a good board member and public as well. So is this addressing anything of that, or is it just addressing that people can speak? What is it?
It goes on to say the board of directors reserves the right to stop speakers from speaking who are unruly or abusive.
Okay.
So you all as a board have that right. Again, it's up to the board to determine what that is. I'll say this. This is fairly boilerplate for most of my MUDs. This MUD is different. So it would be, it's up to you all to determine these. And again, this is something you can scrap all this language out if you want altogether. I mean, ultimately, it's the government code that you have to abide by. So, if a member of the public comes to speak with you all, the floor is kind of theirs. And remember, members of the public have the right to criticize directors. They have the right to complain. They have the right to really say whatever they want. Sure, if someone comes up there and starts threatening you or saying anything like that, then at that point, I think you could have, Deputy Stinson or have someone come in and remove that person from the meeting if it gets to that level. But
What about lies?
well, that's, I can't answer that. I mean, that would go towards someone claiming that someone's defaming someone or saying some sort of defamatory statements, and that's going to be between those two people. And so it'll be tough, I think, for a member of the board. I don't know. I'm just saying it'd be tough. I wouldn't know. I don't know if someone says something, if it's a lie or not.
On a national scale, people that are listening to boards, it's some of their responsibility to do the work necessary to figure out what's the truth and what's not the truth. And I mean, we saw, I think, what happened on a national level when a Department of Fact-Checking was put into place. They were kind of laughed off the whole bit. There's more things on the internet about what's not allowed to be restricted than there is. So I think we should let people speak, let them have their say, and let the chips fall where they may. And you're right, if it's aggressive, there should be certain things that should not be allowed, but that's a very small list.
It's a very fine line you're gonna teeter on with First Amendment and somebody speaking.
So that's exactly what I said.
You guys, Hanoi, do you have anything to say?
He's on.
And if you all want,
Hanoi, can you ask him?
You could
I
take a
don't
look
think
at
he
it
can
and
hear me.
defer it and look around and, and see
Yeah.
if there's anything going to
Do you want
change.
to defer this, or do you have something to
He has a
say?
comment. He has a comment. Go ahead, Hanoi.
I think we are adopting this rule for a reason, right? So this rule is not intended in any way, shape, or form to quiet anybody or silence anybody from free speech. That's not the intent here, right? But we have had history. I've had history myself where Linda Fabre has verbally threatened to destroy my life at an open meeting, right?
Sounds like a personal issue.
It was said, that's scary.
Sounds like a personal
Last month meeting speaks for itself. We had somebody in the public, which I believe is Tina. She's sitting there as well. She stood up and was very aggressive, left the room. Police was out to someone in the process. So we have to have some rules in place to keep the quorum. I'm not saying limit public speaking. It's just sometimes it gets out of control. And so my hope is that we utilize these rules to bring forth civility. That's what I would vote on in favor of that rule. I can't vote tonight, but
So,
it goes beyond public speaking.
it does.
See,
I'm gonna ask to get
even
this,
tonight, right? Even tonight, and I'm not gonna go about it again, but it's this consistent harming, threatening, disparaging, abusive language with intentional harm.
Then step down and walk away.
David, I'm gonna ask you to leave the
But
room.
I'm not
You cannot
walking
stop.
away,
It's
and I'm
not
not
your
placing this
turn.
rule here for myself. I have pretty thick skin, David. I'm just telling you.
We choose to be up here.
David,
It's part of our-
that's
You don't have no right to
Can
tell
we
me
please
to
vote to
walk
have
away
David
from the
removed,
meeting.
please? He's not.
Right, I was elected.
Someone's speaking.
We're having a conversation.
You're
You
not
have
having
a place to tell you to walk away. What I'm telling you is that we got to bring civility back into this room.
We have
I'm gonna say that it is after 8:30. I'm asking that this please be put back on the agenda for the next meeting, please. So AC needs to be brought back up. I am gonna ask if we could have an extended, if it's all right. I know it's your birthday, I hate this, but can we, I'm hoping that we can finish everything in 20 minutes. If we can extend it for 20 minutes, can I have a second on that?
I'll second.
All in favor? 3, okay.
Nay.
So I'm gonna move on to discuss security roving patrol. Who put this on the agenda?
I did.
Okay, David, what do you have to say?
I would like the board members to really look into this roving patrol. I believe that we're not getting our money's worth out of it. If you look at their billing, it says 2 trips per evening. That means they drive into the district, check that doors are locked, and then they leave. I think the intention was for them to continuously stay in the district and patrol, especially, since, crime is going up, as Beth said, or no, some comment in the public.
Janet
Sorry,
did.
yeah, Janet said it. I get both of them confused, they look alike. And so, yeah, I think if we had them in the district the whole time, it would be beneficial versus them just swooping in, swooping out, and they're gone. So it's something that I think needs to be revisited, considered to change companies to something that benefits the district and the dollar amounts that we spend on it. That's all I want to discuss on that.
So,
Maybe the security, because there's a security committee.
there is.
Yeah.
There is, it's Hanoi and I.
Okay.
Do you have something to say, Carol?
I apologize, I speak too much. Understanding, David, what you're asking is that it's not just discussed here tonight, but that it be the committee that would then pull the contract, read the contract, see what it says, then contact the company and see what actually they're doing, and then the committee would bring us a report that we could decide if we want to keep them or.
To probably look at other vendors.
Okay.
Because I think they thought they were getting something different, and it ended up not being what they thought. So now that it's a new board, I think, we can kind of readdress this and see if we can get some good brains on it to make sure that we're getting our money's worth. Because we're good money. Thank you.
Do you have anything to say? I can tell you that I see him out every morning. I've seen him driving around at night.
Not Stenson.
No, for the roving patrol.
they only come at night on Friday and Saturday and Sundays. How do you see them in the morning if they're only here at night?
Okay, I'm looking at the wrong one, I'm thinking of him, so this is understood on that. We can look at it. Hanoi, we can look at that at our next meeting. If you can hear me.
He can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you. That's fine with me.
8E, retention of outside counsel. That we'll have to discuss in executive session. 8F, discuss park and the use of 1,000 Old Mill. I think that we should move that to the next meeting also. That will save a little bit of time right now. Is that fine?
Yes.
There's a few things that need to be talked about with that, so. 9, attorney's reports.
We have 2 items. One is the district's investment policy and investment strategies, including the list of authorized brokers. Every year, the list of authorized brokers changes. And so we receive an updated list from your bookkeeper, and we add it to the back of the resolution evidencing. You all have an investment policy that you adopted, I'm going to guess, 10 plus years ago. Most districts kind of leave it because it's pretty boilerplate. The Public Funds Investment Act hasn't changed too much. I do have a couple of districts who have directors who are interested in that, who have gone back and looked at the policy to update it. So if any director wishes to take a look at that, you can. But the thing that does change every year is a list of authorized brokers, and that's really what you all as a district and what your bookkeeper's allowed, where your bookkeeper can put your money, what banks they're allowed to invest with. So we have a resolution with that updated list in your packets for you all to approve. That's the only motion or the only action item I have. B is just the status of your eminent domain reporting. That's due to the Texas Comptroller February 1st of this year. We filed it on the 3rd of January already on the district's behalf. Essentially what that is every year we have to report to the state whether or not the district uses its eminent domain authority. We all did not use that last calendar year, so we simply checked the box no. And I passed out, I didn't have time to upload it, or I just didn't upload it, but I have a hard copy of that confirmation. It's a print off that we provide typically our board. So that has been done on the district's behalf.
So do you want us to take a vote on that, or a motion?
Just a motion on 9A. Which is the
List of
authorized brokers.
All right. Okay. All right.
Do you want to make a motion while you have it in your hand?
Yes, I make a motion that we approve the new list of authorized brokers.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Discussion? You know, we already all said yes.
And to just for clarity for the people watching, that's 9A, the resolution evidencing review of investment policy, investment strategies, including the list of authorized brokers.
And 9A, can we move that to the next meeting, or is it something that we need to take care of right now?
Did you send that again, Chris?
Yes, I did.
Yes,
Thank you.
he did.
Did you vote yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Everybody did.
Thank you. What was the other item? I'm sorry.
On your 9A.
That's what
You just did 9A.
we just did. That's what we just did. That's the motion I made.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah,
then,
9A is taken care of. And 9B is done too. There's no
that's,
action.
okay, that's all.
We just
Right, okay.
I'll confirm.
February 1st.
Okay, all right, because you've already done it. You've already done it.
We do have 10 minutes, so we're going to do it. Pursuant to Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, the board is going to enter into executive session to discuss matters only related to pending or complicated litigation, personnel matters, real estate transactions, or security. At this time, can all members of the audience please depart this meeting? And the time is 8:40. And I am going to ask for Mackenzie to please stay, or to, if you can stay and leave your computer here also, so that Hanoi can listen in.
That's fine. I ended that Teams call. I will add him on a separate one. That way it's not.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, just for what it's worth, my advice would be I would probably not have Hanoi on, but if you all as a board want him to participate in the closed session, then that's okay. I mean, again, he can't like vote or do.
No, we're not voting in there anyways.
You don't know who's on with them, and you know, that's.
Will you all need me to return after executive?
Session, we don't have anything else, we're gonna end the meeting.
So when everybody comes back in, you can just say, we're back into public meeting, no action was taken during executive session, then you can move on.
And we can vote to close to adjourn, or whatever.
I'm gonna call, should be on.
I'm not sure what it was.
I put this thing backwards.
I have been called back from my house after board meetings about signing stuff, so I just signed it and throw it away if you need to.
What is this thing? I swear I dropped stuff tonight. Over.
Yeah, you don't.
So you can still sign this one. President, right here.
Tomorrow's Thursday. Teresa, are you here all day tomorrow?
Okay, we are back from executive session and it's 9:10. We are back into a public meeting, no decisions or votings were made. And just a reminder that everything that is discussed in executive session is not ever discussed with the public.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Yes, I make a motion that we adjourn.
I made the motion.
I'll second that. And then, but I thought that, okay.
What, did we have something else?
Happy birthday, Pam.
All in favor?
All in favor?
All in favor, thank you, and can the public please exit? It is, when the meeting ends, you can exit.
They're my guests.
They cannot stay, I'm sorry.
They're my guests.
Or they cannot do it.
There's a quorum of the board in this room.
Just rules and regs say that
An officer, as I shared with you, that I would ask you to have him removed at the end